Yo. Welcome in, man. Another day. Hopefully it's another dollar, man. We just got updated news that Joel Embiid is a true game time decision. Makes that game extremely difficult to cap. I talked about that one earlier on the morning show. But welcome in, man. Another edition of ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. If you guys are watching on Twitter, hit the like button for me. Retweet the show as well. Pretty pleased with sugar on top. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button for me as well. Let's jump into these games, man. Yesterday wasn't a profitable day. I tweeted about it. Never running from my L's. Player props to avoid, a lot of the weirdness on Sundays, and most of them was in one game. So I learned my lesson not to play too many player props in one game because that game messed up my whole entire day. Which was the Golden State Warriors in the Timberwolves game. We saw the Golden State Warriors in rare form last night, specifically in that first half. They was able to carry that over throughout the whole game. Timberwolves just never could catch up in this being going down by that many points at the beginning of that game. So terrible day for me yesterday overall as far as official plays. Made a little bit of it back playing some unofficial plays, but I didn't share those, so it's whatever. Looking at today, I think I think it's 9 games today, so we got a lot to break down. Not gonna give you guys something in every single game. Just try to get through them as quickly as possible with sharing the information that I've found on these games to hopefully help you guys with your analysis and whatever it is that you're betting. And then I'll pass the mic, man. Kick it over to whoever got plays that they want to share. Maybe you got a good read on some of these games. You got some analysis, and you got some sharp looks. Send me a request at that time, and I'll get you guys up so you can share your looks as always, man. But let's get it. Let's go ahead and get started because we do got a big card today. So first game up, and I got a couple plays that I want to talk about. First game up, Hawks and the 76ers. I talked about this one earlier. Extremely difficult game to cap. Both of these teams are on back to backs. The Hawks have to travel from home to Philly in this one, and then Philly is also traveling from Orlando back home to Philly as well. The big news in this one, and the reason why I'm not on this game is because we do have Joel Embiid listed as a game time decision. I just told you guys that. We also have Clint Capella with the dental pain that he's going through listed as questionable for this game. And then also DeAndre Hunter, I think, got added to the injury report as well. He's questionable. So these questionable games, what I've done is I've just typically stayed on the sideline. It's hard enough trying to win bets, man. It's even more difficult when the manipulation of the injury report is this high. So I'm not even going to touch on this game. I'm gonna skip right over it because, like I said, we don't have. I'm not playing the guessing game with if somebody's in, then this and all that stuff. So moving along, the Timberwolves and the Wizards. So lining this one open. Let's see, I got a banner for it. Lining this one open at the Timberwolves -1. And now it's flipped to Washington -1. I don't think I saw that. The total opened at 229, and I see it come down to 227. This is a game that I think goes over. I'm not sure why the money, flipped to Minnesota to Washington. I see 53% of the money's on Minnesota, 68% of the tickets. That's interesting because you kind of want to back Washington as a dog. You don't want to back them as a favorite, though. This Timberwolves team is way better than this Washington team, in my estimation, too. I know Kyle Kuzma is not on the injury report. He missed that game yesterday in Boston. But that's interesting, man. I still think, even though the Timberwolves got smacked up like they did yesterday, I still think that they are better than this Washington team. Bad travel spot, like I said, for both teams. Both of these teams are also on back to backs. Timberwolves flying in from Minnesota yesterday after they got smacked up by the Warriors. And then the Wizards flying in from Boston. They got smacked up as well in Boston yesterday. They did come back and make it a little bit closer at the end, but it was never really that close. Um, so I I saw Cat get injured in, I think it was the beginning of the fourth quarter. He ended up coming back though. He like hit his knee, banged his knee or something, was thriving in pain, might just, being dramatic, looking for attention or something. But he ended up coming back into the game and finishing the game. I thought he might end up on the injury report, but I didn't see that. See his name on the injury report at all. Kuzma is back, like I said. Interesting trend for this game is that the last 9 matchups between these two teams have all went over, and you see money come in on the under. I think this total, I'm seeing that it opened at 229. I feel like I saw this total open at 223, and then it was bet up to 227.5. But now I see it opening at 229. So I'm not 100% sure on that. It is interesting though that you see the Wizards laying a point and a half, and I know I didn't miss any injury news on the Minnesota side of things, so I'm not 100% sure how this line is flipped. I got to figure that part out. Moving, so nothing official for me in that one. I will say this, looking at, and we kind of touched on this last week. If you're a Timberwolves backer, the games that the Timberwolves start strong are typically the games that the Timberwolves win. When they start flat and they look a tad bit slow, especially on the defensive rotations, because this is the team that's predicated on getting stops in the half court and then being able to then run in transition. They got a lot of guys that can hit spot up threes. They typically get the ball to D'Angelo Russell. What's the kid name? Anthony Edwards can also bring it up in transition. Cat can even push it in transition. And then they're just looking for shooters or trying to get to the rim. They're a really good transition team. But if their defense isn't playing well, then we know what they are on the offensive end, still trying to get Rudy Gobert kind of acclimated to that system. What I will say is this: the Timberwolves, they have the largest first quarter margin on the road this season. So if you like the Timberwolves, you want to play them first quarter because they typically cover the first quarter at a really high rate, specifically against the Eastern Conference teams. It's not a really good spot for them because they did come off of like a 4 or 5 game road trip. And then they went home for one game. Now they're back on the road again. So not the most favorable spot. You would think that they come back out with something today, especially after getting beat up against, Golden State yesterday. Now you get a Wizards team that's kind of, who knows what this Wizards team is. They look good sometimes. Other times they don't look good. It's really hard for me to get a gauge on this team. And it's typically a team I typically like to stay away from. They burned me one time when I took the I think I took Dallas. I took Dallas in that spot and they beat Dallas. I see Boombaye in here. He got that one right a couple weeks ago. So I've this Wizards team is just a real hard team for me to gauge. So I typically stay away from teams that I can't bet on. Or bet on successfully. So that's what I kind of got for you guys there. No player props, no nothing else. Like I said, the only thing that stood out to me was the over with all 9 matchups going over in the last 9 games between these two teams. The Timberwolves do struggle. I forgot what that trend was, but the Timberwolves don't play well in DC for some reason. I'm not quite sure why that is, but they do tend to struggle when they have to play in DC. Real quick, that trend is Timberwolves 0-5 in the last 5 meetings, ATS wise, no matter where the site, either in Minnesota or in DC. And then the Timberwolves are also only just 4-13 against the spread last 17 meetings in Washington. So they don't play well in Washington for some reason. Second night of a back-to-back would only make me look towards taking the over. Typically, the Tyler Larrick theory is that you see more points. So not going to spend too much time on that game when I don't got a lot of an official play at all. Hornets and the Celtics, another really difficult game to cap. You see Al Horford is listed as out in this one. They're giving him the night off. For the Hornets, this is the second night of a back. I'm sorry. For the Celtics, it's the second night of a back-to-back. Jason Tatum didn't play yesterday. He's not on the injury report, so he might be in, but Jaylen Brown looked like he got downgraded to questionable. Wouldn't surprise me if they set him in this spot. They got a nice little competitive schedule coming up. If you go look at who they got on deck, so it won't be tomorrow, but probably just want to kind of rest. This team is 16-4. They got the best record in the NBA. They got the best offense in the NBA. They got the best plus minus in the NBA. They got the highest offensive efficiency in the NBA. And the list just kind of goes on and on. So laying 11, I think it was 11 points when I looked at it earlier. Right now it is, I think it came down to 10.5. Total went from 219 all the way up to 225. I still would probably look towards the over. The Boston team, I talked about them yesterday. They just flat out can score the ball. It don't matter who they got on the court. And now that they have more depth in the backcourt as well, because at the beginning of the season last year, they didn't have Derek White. At the end of the season last year, they didn't have Malcolm Brogdon. Those two guys, bringing in those two guys, Peyton Pritchard's playing well off the bench. Grant Williams has taken a leap of development as well. And then you got Cornette, and man, this team is they're stacked, like pretty much everywhere you look. And their offense is predicated on just getting out and transition and running, right? Like they just get the rebound and they go. They try to shoot the ball as quickly as possible. They launch a lot of 3-pointers. They don't care if they miss 10 in a row. They shoot in the next one too. So couldn't talk anybody off, their team totals even again today. And if you play the team totals, you don't necessarily have to worry about the spread, especially when you get a team laying 10.5. The Celtics can cover this game, but it's a meaningless game for the Celtics. The Charlotte, on the other hand, they typically don't play well in Boston, even though they are the more rested team in this spot. They're coming off a win 2 days ago, so nice little 2-game home trip. They end up winning both of those games. They beat Philly and they beat Philly, and then they beat Minnesota at the crib. Now they're on the road for this one before they go back home and play the Wizards yet again. So nothing I really like in this one, man. I don't have anything in this game. Hornets 2-8-1 ATS last 11 meetings with Boston, and they also 6-19-1 against the spread in the last 26 meetings. So like I said, nothing official for me in this one, but I'll be looking towards Celtics team totals. You never can go wrong with them, it seems like. Terry Rozier is listed as probable with an illness. Gordon Hayward's out, of course. Lonzo is still out as well, and Dennis Smith Jr. is out. Caleb Martin is also out. Cody Martin is also out in this one. So that's my quick synopsis on that game. Nothing official for me at all. If Jaylen Brown doesn't play and Tatum does play, you might want to look at Tatum. And Tatum rebounds is something that continues to hit, and I think they don't really adjust that number. So that's something I'm actually write on my short list is Tatum rebounds. We know what big men do rebounding wise against Charlotte too. So something to look at there, especially with him not being on the second night of a back-to-back. He actually isn't. The rest of the guys are. He had yesterday off. Moving along, the Magic and the Nets. So this spread was at 10. Actually open. Yeah, it's at 10.5. Still at 10.5. Total has gone up. I saw it actually open last night at 219.5. And then it's all the way up to 224. I did play the total in this one. I played it at 223. Let me check real quick. I want to say I played it at 223. I played the over. I feel like, so you're looking at this, both of these teams on second nights of back-to-backs, which means that you probably will get tired legs. Rui Hachimura just got ruled out with his ankle injury, which is even less offense for that Washington Wizards team. But going back to this game, you look at this Magic team. They got smacked up yesterday. A lot of it was due to injuries. They're extremely thin right now. They had a bunch of guys on the injury report that didn't play yesterday, and a bunch of those same guys aren't playing today. However, they are getting I think one or two of them back, and maybe one of them questionable. And those guys specifically are the let me tell you guys. So let's see. So Jalen Suggs is out. He didn't play yesterday. Pascal Siakam is listed as questionable in that Toronto game. We're gonna get to that game in a second. So Jalen Suggs is out. Terrence Ross is out. Wendell Carter Jr. is also out. Okeke looks like he is questionable. Mo Bamba is listed as questionable as well. He might end up playing. They just really need some more offense. So looking at one of the things that I looked at when I was looking at this game, because the Nets are coming off a second night of a back-to-back as well. They beat Portland yesterday, smacked Portland up specifically late in that game and got them out the way. Sent them back on their back home to Portland after their 4-game road trip just ended. One thing I looked at, teams that play their first leg of a back-to-back at home, and then they have to travel for the second leg of their back-to-back with their opponent also playing on a back-to-back as well. Those teams are only 7-14 straight up, 7-12-2 against the spread since the start of last season. That would be a play on Brooklyn in this one. This season, that also includes those teams being 1-6-2 against the spread. ATS last 9 games. Another trend that kind of backs the Nets, and it also backs the 76ers in this spot as well. Teams coming off 30-point losses. The Orlando Magic did lose by 30 yesterday to the Philadelphia 76ers, shorthanded Philadelphia 76ers. Teams coming off a 30-point loss this season are 8-2 ATS in their following game. When they're on the second night of a back-to-back, they're also 2-0 ATS. Brooklyn is just 3-5 following the ATS win this season. So that would be a play, of course, on on the Magic, but you can't back the Magic. They're just too thin, I think. They could lose this game by 15 points, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. But like I said, I did like the total. The Magic, they're 2-0 to the over, playing on back-to-backs this season. Brooklyn is 5-3 to the over after an ATS. So Kuzma is going to play today. Brooklyn is 5-3 to the over after an ATS win, including 4 straight overs. Teams coming off scoring 100 points or less in their last game, because the Magic did finish yesterday with only 99 points, with no rest involved before their next game, are 10-6-1 to the over in their following game, averaging 112 points. So that's a play to the over as well. That trend again was teams coming off scoring 100 points or less in their last game, no rest. So back-to-back, those teams are 10-6-1 to the over in their following game and averaging 112 points. I also see a lot of points coming from, the net side of things as well. I do think that the Magic come out here and try to play a little bit better defense, because they gave up 130 points to Philly yesterday, 72 points in the paint to Philly yesterday as well. And that's typically not even how you beat the Magic. You typically beat them from 3. So, I couldn't talk anybody off. Steph Curry props, Joe Harris props, but I do think Brooklyn does I don't think that they have a problem scoring the ball, even though the Magic should come out here with something on the defensive end after giving up 130 points. So that's what I got for you guys there. Like I said, I played the total at 223. Cavs and the Raptors. So this one opened at 1. Now it's all the way up to 4. I hopped on the money line at -126 as soon as the news broke that Jared Allen wasn't going to play. And I kind of hinted at that on the morning show, how I couldn't really play the game without Jared Allen being, not knowing the status of Jared Allen. They had a lot of guys that was on that list. Jared Allen, Kevin Love, Karis LeVert, Siakam was listed as questionable as well. Scotty Barnes, I think, was also listed as questionable. He didn't play in the game against Dallas on Saturday. So Cavs coming off a win last night. They beat Detroit in Detroit, started that game off slow. I think Coach ChrisBeCappinn saw that he had Robin Lopez in the game and thought, what the hell am I doing? Took Robin Lopez out to start the third quarter, and they actually came back and won the game after being down by 8. After being down at halftime, ended up winning the game by 8. So the Raptors come into this one. Of course, they're the more rested team. They could get a guy back like Siakam, and it could throw off the chemistry, right? We see, big players come back, and they typically do mess the chemistry up. But in this one, for me, the way the Raptors play, I don't think having Siakam back is going to necessarily mess up the rotation at all. I think having Siakam back is going to help. And if it hurts, Nick Nurse will sit him down on the bench, and we'll see the Raptors win the games how they typically do, with good defense, stifling teams. They do have Fred VanVleet, which he provides a lot of offense for that team. And they just find a way to win. They're a scrappy team. They find a way to stay in the game. Cleveland on the second night of a back-to-back. I see, a lot of I love this Cleveland team, and we've made money with Cleveland before, and we're going to continue to make money with Cleveland, but we're not taking them without Jared Allen. I'm not taking them without Jared Allen. I'm not taking them without Kevin Love and Karis LeVert. That's way too much offense. You think about Kevin Love and Karis LeVert, those guys are in my estimation, the number 3 and 4, offensive guys on this team as far as filling up the stat sheet. And then I also think that I talked about this on the morning show. I think this Cavs team, their offense is kind of predicated on their defense, because when they're getting stops down there with, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, and they can get out and run in transition, their offense looks a lot better. We also, I think, big part of it, we just got to be a little more patient. I'm speaking for myself specifically, because on paper, this team looks really, really good. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, and then whoever they put in at the 3, because that's still kind of a work in progress. JB Bickerstaff still trying to figure that out, whether he want an offensive guy in there or a defensive guy. Typically, it's Kevin Love, when it's crunch time, because he can, he's probably the best defensive / offensive guy to kind of throw in there. Can also space the floor so Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland can play ISO ball. But we got to remember that Darius Garland, he got hit in his eye at the end of the first, during the first game. So he missed some time. Him and Donovan Mitchell are still, trying to figure out the chemistry. They've also had a lot of people kind of in and out the rotation. So I do think it's going to be games where we back the Cavs. I'm not backing the Cavs without Jared Allen, though. Their defense is not as good. Evan Mobley will do the best that he can, but he can't, be an elite defender all the time. Also like taking the Cavs off a loss, and they won yesterday. So I'm on Toronto. Like I said, I got the money line at a -1. 26 earlier. I think the spread at that point was -2 before it went up to 4. So I took the Raptors in that spot. The 4 I don't like as much. The total going up I do like because without Jared Allen, this team goes over. I kind of gave that trend out a couple weeks ago on the show. I don't know exactly what it is because I don't have it written down right now, but they don't play as much defense. And other teams can score. So two extremely slow-paced teams kind of walk the ball up the court, kind of shoot at the end of the shot clock. Playing on the second night of a back-to-back for the Cavs, though, I think that they can give up some points. If Detroit can score with the roster that they threw out there yesterday, I know that Toronto can score as well. Toronto's another team that their offense is kind of predicated on their defense because when they're making you miss, when they're turning you over, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and those guys, even Gary Trent Jr. recently, when those guys are turning you over, then they can get out in transition. They shoot a lot of pull-up threes. They go to the rim. They can dunk on you. They can finish in the paint. So I can see the Cavs in this one, probably getting smacked up. I don't know if Toronto covers the 4, which is why I took the money line earlier, but I like Toronto in this spot. Moving along, the Thunder and the Pelicans. So I don't really have a lot in this game. The Thunder are coming off the loss to the Houston Rockets after the win against the Chicago Bulls. I think this is still the third game in 4 nights for them. They look really, really flat in that last game, as kind of expected, though. We kind of expected that, them playing in overtime at home and having to get on a plane and fly to Houston for that next game. So now you get them in New Orleans. New Orleans should be fired up in this one, but they're going to be fired up and shorthanded. Ingram's listed as doubtful. I don't think we got confirmation on him. CJ McCollum's already listed as out with that illness. One way I'm looking in this game. So we know that the Thunder, they can't, they don't have anybody to rebound the ball. And if you take the opposite, opponent's big man, you typically cash their rebounds every time. So I couldn't talk anybody off. Valanciunas rebounds. Larry Nance Jr. should be in there as well a lot, especially if the Thunder go small and try to get Pokusevski to, play towards the 3-point line on the outside of the court. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can go, attack downhill and try to get to the rim. We know that he leads the league in drives and points in the I think he leads the league in points in the paint as well. But one way I'm looking in this game, if CJ McCollum won't play, if Brandon Ingram doesn't play, I'm locking in Trey Murphy. I know it's a pivot off of Zion. Zion should be able to eat. I think he should be able to do pretty much whatever he wants to do. And of course, the books are going to adjust his points to that as well. And, you get those inflated lines. So I'm looking for value. Trey Murphy point prop is sitting at 14.5. He's went over this number a couple times in the last game. I'm not really dissecting it from that perspective. I'm more so looking at it like if they don't have CJ and they don't have BI, who is going to score for this team? Zion's going to get his, of course. I don't think that there's props out yet for Devontae Graham. I think he's going to come in and, be the facilitator. And I would look at his assists as well. But Trey Murphy's going to be the wing guy that's going to shoot a lot of shots. I think he shot the ball 14 times in the last game when they got blew out against New Orleans, when they got blew out against Memphis the other day. And I kind of see him shooting the ball again. So if I can get 14, 15 shots and his point prop sitting at 14.5, I'm just waiting on, the news for Brandon Ingram to be confirmed out in this one. And I'm going to lock in Trey Murphy over the 14.5 points. To me, it just feels like a game. We know the Thunder played the second fastest pace. To me, it just feels like a game with a bunch of points. The total in this one opened at 232. And it's all the way, still at 232, open at 231. Looks like it's at 232 now. So, money came in on the Pelicans in this one. Opened at 4, it was up to 6. Now it's back down to 5.5. So, I like Trey Murphy a lot in this one. I like Trey Murphy points over 14.5. Probably gonna, like I said, I'm gonna lock that in as soon as Brandon Ingram is out. Is out officially. Nuggets and the Rockets and the Nuggets. The next game. Nothing really for me in this one. I want to get on the Nuggets team totals, but they're a little too inflated for me. I think first half was like 61.5. We know that they're one of the better home teams as far as scoring the ball at home. They are still going to be a little shorthanded. They won't have all their guys. The Rockets kind of picking up some momentum. They beat, OKC was a scheduled loss spot when you think about that back-to-back. I think that was on Saturday. On Sunday, that was on Friday. Was that on Friday? I think that was on Friday. Whatever day that was. Then you get the Rockets come, Atlanta came into town, And I talked about Atlanta being my favorite spot. Didn't play Houston in that spot, but Houston won that game outright. So, now you get 1 day's rest. I think this is a third game in 4 nights for the Rockets, but they're a young team. They actually function as one of the better teams on a third game in 4 nights as well. I was kind of looking at some SDQL on that earlier. 11.5 seems like a lot, but we know when the Rockets are away dogs and they lose, they typically lose by margin. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Rockets covered this. You don't want to lay this big number with Denver. You kind of want to look towards the over, even though the total's going down. I see it down to 233.5. I'm sorry, it opened at 233.5. I see it down to 228, 228.5, and that would be something that I need to look a little more on because I hadn't really capped that total at all. But Houston, Denver over the 228 is something that I'm gonna look into. Not place the bet, but something that I'm gonna look into. All right, so that's that game. Also couldn't talk anybody off Jalen Green props. Dude's been absolutely feasting, like he's been cooking. So for him to kind of keep it going tonight wouldn't surprise me at all. Eric Gordon numbers have been extremely low, and he's been cashing on this player prop as well. So somebody else I'll probably be taking a look at in that offense. Typically, numbers sitting around 12.5 or 13.5. So that's another look. And then what we got? 3 more games? Yeah, 3 more games, and I'm gonna be quiet. So next game up is the Bulls and the Jazz. I man, unlike a lot of other people, I don't have a lot of opinions on this game. I'm not a Bulls backer. I took the Bulls. We cashed on the Bulls team total on Friday night against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they had to go to overtime. The Jazz may be without Lauri Markkanen. I think I saw that he was a true game time decision. They have been struggling recently. A bunch of losses, kind of come back down to earth. I want to say I checked the standings earlier. They were like 7th in the West now. And just a few, last week around this time or a week and a half ago, they were 1st in the West. So they've kind of come down to reality as we've expected. But I don't want to back the Bulls. Bulls are not a team that I like to back. I also just don't feel comfortable backing this Jazz team either. So I'm not betting against the Jazz. I'm, probably going to just let that one ride out, watch this game, see what's happening. And I want to get there like on a total or something, but when not knowing Lauri Markkanen status, it makes it difficult for me to bet, even if I wanted to put a bet in. I just don't have a strong opinion on this game at all. Bulls versus Jazz, 2 teams that I don't really like backing at all. And the Bulls, they should be due for a win, but after they lost that game to OKC, it's not a game that I really want to I don't want to get behind them. I don't like the way that the Bulls play offense. It's a lot of one-on-one, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan kind of going one-on-one, nobody else cutting without the ball. It's not basketball that I like to watch. Just to put it like that. And I'm going to get off of this game because I don't have anything official on it anyway. Suns and the Kings. I did make the Bet US video. I am on the Kings plus the 1 today. And I see it down to a pick. So I guess some money came in on Sacramento. I see 65% of the money is on Sacramento. And Jaylen Brown's going to be a true game time decision with the neck. Nothing wrong with his neck. He went out there yesterday and dropped like 30. Nothing was wrong with his neck. So the Phoenix Suns, 57% of the tickets are on them. Total in this one opened at 231. It's up to 233. I do like the over, and I like the Sacramento Kings in this one. All my notes on the video, so I'm not going to really go into too much detail. But what I'll tell you guys, and the video is posted on my page, what I will tell you guys is that the Kings, they're due for a win. Coming back home off the road trip out east, it doesn't really scare me too much. I typically don't like to play the team. But the reason why it doesn't scare me too much is because they have 2 days rest. So it's not like they just got back last night. It's not just like, they've been back for a while. I also feel like they're due for some positive aggression. That positive aggression typically comes at home. They score 124 points at home. I think this Kings team, and I've said this a couple times already on the show, I think this Kings team is the best Kings team that we've seen since they had Vlade Divac and Chris Webber and Bobby Jackson, and Peja Stojakovic back when they were battling against the Lakers, with Shaq and Kobe and Derek Fisher and Robert Horry. Like, I just feel like this version of the Kings team can really score. They're extremely, extremely deep too. When you look at their bench, and if you go look at the Suns, specifically in their road games, they give up about, I think it was 105 points is what they allow at home, 112 on the road. And that's what the Kings like to do. They like to get out and score. Can the Suns, play defense and keep this one close? I absolutely think so. Can the Suns win the game? I absolutely think so. But I think this is a King spot. The Suns look like, to me, they've been teetering on a loss. The Kings need a win. And now that they're back home, I think they get it tonight against the Suns. So I took the Kings plus the 1. I think they win the game outright by a possession or 2. So I like the Kings, and I also like the over, even though what I have written down on my notes when I capped it last night was that the total was at 226.5. Like I said, now it's showing me that the total actually opened, at least on the Wager Talk Live eye screen, it's showing me that the total opened at 231. So I probably should have played that last night. And then it's showing me that it's up to 233. So some money's already come in on the over as well. And then the last game up, Pacers and the Lakers. My Lakers hosting the Pacers. Pacers second night of a back-to-back. They looked terrible yesterday against Wilt Chamberlain and the Clippers. I mean, Zubac and the Clippers. But this team is, I don't know. You could kind of say that, maybe they were kind of looking ahead to the Laker game. I thought it was a spot that they were kind of rested in, and I thought that they would beat the Clippers. I talked about that yesterday on the show. I like the Pacers. I didn't play them, but I did like the Pacers on the money line. They absolutely got demolished yesterday against a shorthanded Clippers team so Steph Curry just got ruled in for Brooklyn. They got demolished by a Brooklyn team. I'm sorry, by a Clipper team without Kawhi Leonard, without Paul George. So now the Lakers get the band back together. LeBron is probable for this game. AD set out the last game versus Spurs, but nothing was wrong with him. He could have played in that game if he wanted to. And now you get both of them back on the court together. I'm gonna go back to what I used to say. I'm not betting on Laker games. I become too emotionally involved, financially involved. So I'm gonna sit this one out. My play in this one would be towards the under. I know that the total is going up. I don't really care about that. It's at 238. It opened at 230. I saw it open at 234.5. And money kind of came in on the Lakers. Then it disappeared. Then I think AD got ruled got listed as probable, and then it kind of shifted back towards the Lakers. My lean will be towards the Lakers, man. I think that this is a winnable game for them. I think that they're due to come up. I think the Pacers struggle on this Western Conference road trip where they, I think, have 7 games all together. So this is only game number 2. I would lean towards the Lakers to be able to win this game, man. But whenever I say that, something crazy happens. So I'm not playing the game, but I do like the Lakers in this spot. The other thing I think is interesting to mention as well, Bron and AD has only played 1 game together since, Bron's come back from that abductor injury. And in that game, AD had 25 and 15, I think. So for me, I'm seeing the Lakers kind of run the offense through AD. And I think that continues tonight, especially if he plays. And if Zubac, I'm not trying to pronounce his name wrong. If Zubac can get 29 points and 31 rebounds or 31 rebounds and 29, whatever he had yesterday, AD got to go over his point and rebound prop. Like, it's like that. When I saw that yesterday, I'm like, oh, we get them on the second night of a back-to-back? And if Visa Zubac did that, yeah, give me I probably got to play just off the principle. If Zubac doing that, I can only imagine what AD doing. So, especially, with the rest disadvantage. So I like the Lakers. I like AD props as well, especially with him having the extra day off. And we saw, the Lakers have one of the easier schedules. We talked about this before the season started. The Lakers have one of the easiest schedule when it comes to rest advantage / rest disadvantage. So I like the Lakers, getting these built-in extra days. The Lakers have been catching a lot of teams on the second night of a back-to-back, or they're the more rested team so far this season. And it bodes well for them so far. What I don't like is that we don't have Patrick Beverley until the game Wednesday to be able to be out there on Halliburton. We have nobody that can guard Halliburton. Austin Reeves going to try his best. But, just the way that the Pacers can kind of move the ball. They also do play well on the second night of a back-to-back as well. But, yeah, those are my kind of thoughts on the game. I like LeBron. If you watch the game, LeBron's so smooth, man. I watched the game the other day. I bet on his point prop. He had 3 points at the end of the first quarter against the Spurs. And I'm like, damn, I wish I knew he was just going to be a facilitator. And, he just kind of pick it up throughout the game, still finished the game with 39, 1 point away from cashing that plus 850 ticket for 40 points. So I think this is the same way, man. I think, just kind of watching him, LeBron, he'll try to get everybody else involved and probably, take over at the end if we need him to. But I like the Lakers in this one, man. I know the Lakers haven't played a lot of great teams. We got, three wins against the Spurs recently. We beat Detroit. We do got a pretty good win against Brooklyn. But I think the Lakers are due to come up. If you remember at the beginning of the season, we were losing games. I say we, like I play for them, but the Lakers were losing games because they couldn't shoot, right? Lakers just couldn't shoot the ball. Shooting the worst percentage from three out of any team in the NBA. And now you start to see some of those shots fall. Guys like Austin Reeves, guys like Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker has actually been hitting from three. And then you stretch the defense, and then AD can play more one-on-one basketball. They also facilitating the ball well. Assist numbers are up. So I like the Lakers, man, and I like AD props today because Miles Turner can't guard nobody, and AD probably gonna feast tonight. So that's my thoughts, man. What I locked in so far today was the Raptors money line. I locked in the Kings plus the 1. I told you guys about that. I took the Brooklyn and Orlando over 223. And I'm on Trey Murphy as soon as we get the news that Mr. Zubac, as soon as we get the news that Brandon Ingram's out. So I haven't seen that news yet. And we are continuing to get updates, but nothing on those games. So 104 people watching on YouTube, man. That's what's up. Hey, y'all hit that like button for me, man. Retweet the show if you're watching on Twitter. And if you got looks, let me know what they are and send me a request. I'll get you guys up, let y'all share them, and we're gonna get up out of here. I'll recap my plays towards the end. Let's see what y'all on. Anybody got any requests? I got 59 comments. I can't get through all these on YouTube, but I'm gonna go through. Let me see what y'all on. Pacers are too small in the post for real. The Cavs are borderline ass without Allen and Love. That's a fact, Steve. Buddy gets buckets versus the Lakers. Yeah, I can see that. We typically give it up to the guards for sure. AD not gonna let anything happen in the paint. So I would like I'll be looking at Buddy props as well. Mathurin props as well. Shout out to my guy Mitch. We talked about Mathurin earlier as well. Mathurin comments on LeBron is in effect. Yeah, he did. And Bron saw that. Bron definitely saw that. So it wouldn't surprise me if Bron went crazy tonight. I might stay up and watch that whole game, man. Lakers should win in very short spread. Yeah. You ask them to win by 2 possessions when you get the 4. But yeah, they should be able to cover that. If AD is in, I do like the under. I love the under, man. I think Miles Turner on that side. I know me and Ski talk about it. Me and Ronald talk about it. But Miles Turner in and AD in for the Lakers, I think the game goes under, man. I think we just see it a little too high. Raven said, when do you know, Chris, to bet the Zubac over rebound prop? I think desperation games. The Clippers were desperate for a win yesterday. They were coming off 2 straight losses. Against the Pacers every single time, right? Like the Pacers, if you're playing against, teams that don't rebound the ball well, like Oklahoma City Thunder, is another time you bet the over rebound prop for Zubac. Those type games. Fox and D-Book, good for 30 each. I do like that, Sid. I also like, I didn't talk about this, and I'm probably not going to play it because it's on the opposite side, but I like Cam Payne, man. Cam Payne has been playing really good backup point guard for the Suns. He's looked really, really good, but I do like Fox to go off. They probably put, Miles, Mikal Bridges on him. And the Kings, much as I like them, they don't have anybody that can slow Book down. Book gonna get his. But I think that they limit everybody else. And I see the Kings having a tad bit too much offense for the Suns in this one. I think it's a real shootout for sure as well. So yeah. I like all that. Rockets can beat them tonight, can beat them outright. Nuggets are frauds. Yeah. Or they can get smacked up and lose by 20. I can see it going either way. What about Herb Jones? Points 11.5. I could see it. Herb's gonna be out there to play defense. He probably gonna end up being on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander tonight. So anything that he give you on the offensive end just gonna be extra. So I couldn't talk anybody off of it. I also like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I know we was on his rebounds plus assists the other day at 11.5, and he didn't cash on that second night of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights with the travel and overtime. But that was because they weren't making shots. he had 10 potential assist opportunities, only finished the game with 3 assists. So I like going back to that again tonight. I think it's it's a high scoring game. I see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander getting assist opportunities. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scores a lot of his points in the paint against teams that don't have a lot of bigs and that can't stop people from getting to the paint. I think it's going to be a tad bit different, and we see Shai actually get the other guys involved. I do expect OKC to be able to make some shots today. So I actually looked at it. They dropped this line from 11.5. And like I said, I know we didn't cash on it, but sometimes you just got to kind of go back to the well, especially in a spot that's better. Shai Gilgeous rebounds plus assists over 10.5. I'm going to take another hard look at that one because I do like that line a lot as well. Let's see. No BI or McCollum. Can Zion carry? I like Zion, but I also like Trey Murray. Like I said, I'm probably gonna like his point prop in. I could see 18, 19 points from Trey Murphy tonight. Shout out to UVA. I go over if no Capello on the other side. If Embiid plays, would you lean towards the under? I would say yes. Embiid slows the game down so much, man. They just it's real slow. But yeah. Terry Rozier just got ruled out with an illness. That doesn't help Charlotte any. They might not score 100 points tonight. But yeah, let me get to some of these requests, man. Let me get Too Heavy up. Let me get Bookie up. Silverio, I'm getting you up. Anybody else who got requests, man, send them to me so we can get to them. And like I said, I'll recap my plays and we'll get up out of here. Anybody that want to share anything, LJ, I'm coming to you too, my brother. Too Heavy, what's going on, my boy? How you doing? LJ, go ahead, my brother. How you doing?
What's going on, bro? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You good?
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure my audio right. How you doing this evening?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. Trying to get some cash. You know how it go, LJ. What's going on with you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing the same thing all day today. I was able to refresh, do some notes. So yeah, I'm ready to cash today too. I had a so-so weekend, but I'm trying to hit them over the head today. So
Absolutely.
I'm giving you my best 5 props, man. Start lineup prop. We're gonna start off with DeRozan in Utah. I'm gonna take his over 27.5 points minus 108 because he's averaging 31 points on the road, averaging 32 points in his last 5 games, and he's averaging 30 on the road versus the Western Conference. So I do believe he will try to go after 30. Plus, I just saw Booker get 27. I think Steph had 33 versus Utah these last 2 games. So I believe you can score on Utah right now. So I think if DeRozan to get his 30 tonight, I'm going to go with Monte Morris assists. And I laddered it up to 7+ because it was over 4.5 minus like 170 or something. It was really juice.
Okay.
But I'm gonna ladder it up to 7 plus 185 because Minnesota gives up 8.5 assists to the point guard position last 8 games. Monte he had 9 assists versus Minnesota last year, and he's averaging 5 assists in his last 5 games at home. So, I do believe he would get at least 7+ assists versus Minnesota, like I just said. Gives up the second most assists.
Yeah, LJ, if they come out playing defense like they did yesterday, he might have it in the first quarter. I watched Draymond get 7 assists yesterday in the first quarter. He the point guard for that team.
Yeah, you're right. So I wouldn't be surprised. Monte cashed that early. And I'm gonna go jump on Oubre for the Hornets over 1.5 steals minus 112 because this boy has had 17 steals in his last 6 games, 2 plus 5 out of his last 6 games. So I do believe that's going to continue to cash. And like you just said, all the players that's out for the Hornets, he's going to be playing a lot of minutes. So those opportunities should be there for him. I'm going to take Claxton for the Nets over 2.5 blocks minus 126 because the last 3 Eastern Conference games, he done had 12 blocks, and he's averaging 3 blocks in every Eastern Conference game on the season. And we do know that the Magic give up steals versus the center position. So I wouldn't be surprised if he cashes steals prop. But I'm not giving it as an official, but you can look at that one as well. But definitely, I do believe he's going to get 3 blocks tonight versus Orlando. And my last one, Sabonis rebounds, over 11.5, minus 130, because he's averaging 12.5 rebounds his last 4 games, averaging 14 rebounds in the division. And the last 7 games that he has played versus the Suns, he's averaging 14 rebounds. So, Sabonis, over 11.5 rebounds, minus 130.
Okay. Let's go 5 for 5 one time, LJ. Let's go, bro. Yeah. Let's go. I hope you cash all of them. Best of luck to you, LJ. Appreciate you sharing the looks, bro.
For sure, Chris.
Absolutely. Too Heavy, I'm gonna come back to you, and then Bookie, I'm gonna kick it to you. What's up, Too Heavy?
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You good? You good? Can you hear me? I don't know if you're trying to talk now. I can't hear you now. If you are trying to talk Too Heavy, I'm gonna drop you back down and just request back up. Request back. Bookie, I'm gonna come to you, and then Reyes, I'm gonna come to you after that. What's up, Bookie?
It's good, Chris. So I heard someone else who was on DeMar too, but I just did a fat write up on it, so I'm gonna read it, so I just didn't put it to waste. But
okay,
I got a couple looks after that too. Feel free to chime in because I'm on the fence with a couple of these 2 spread picks I took. I'll give off at the end.
Okay.
DeMar over in 7-12 in November, that 27.5 line in 6 of the last 7 games. In his last 4, he's averaging 33.75 points on 26.25 field goal attempts. Just a ridiculous volume back to the huge scoring load we saw last season, and today gets a very positive matchup. DeMar, to no one's surprise, scoring 39% of his points from the mid-range and 32% in the paint. Utah, great at pushing players off the 3-point line, but very vulnerable to the mid-range and gets destroyed in the paint. Over the last 10 games, Utah allows the 7th most field goal attempts and 2nd highest field goal percentage in the mid-range and the 5th highest field goal percentage from 5 feet of the basket. DeMar already has ridiculous volume and now gets a defense that's going to funnel him right to his spots. I look back how shooting guards, small forwards with just 20-plus field goal attempts have performed against Utah, and 6 of 11 players that have met that criteria has gone over 28 points. And looking at the players that have went under, 2 of the players to miss was the Brick Factory in Houston. In the same game, actually, Devin Booker ending on 27 on the hook, Maxey scoring just 18, shooting 33%, and then Wiggins with 20 field goal attempts exactly, and only 1 free throw attempt. And today, I can definitely see DeMar shooting around 25, maybe even 30 shots today. High game total of 23.5. Love that look today. And then I'm also on, just like you were, this is assuming Brandon Ingram's out because the lines seem to be adjusted, like he's not going to play. Trey Murphy over 2.5 3-pointers made, minus 105. Over in 10 of 13 without Ingram. So that line, like that minus 105 line, seems really strange. And Murphy has the highest spot up frequency and shoots the most spot up shots in New Orleans by far this season. And OKC is allowing the 7th most spot up shots per game. Should be a close game still with no CJ or Ingram. We know OKC is not no team that you can just roll over. So I really like that play. Another play I'm on, Vucevic double-double, Toronto plus 5 to make it plus 100. I was going to take Toronto's money line early on, but I wasn't able to get it at a great number. And then Siakam was just ruled into recently. He's also on a minutes restriction if anyone's interested in taking something on that.
Yeah. I love it. Love the looks, Book. I hope you cash all of them, bro. As the news breaks, I'm trying to keep you guys updated as much as possible. We got news about Jaylen Brown being out. I talked about that. Karis LeVert looks like he will play in that game, so that does add some more offensive firepower for the Cleveland Cavaliers in Toronto tonight. And yeah, I posted a couple up top as well. It's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, love your looks though, Bookie. Hope you cash them, my brother. Too Heavy, I'm gonna come back to you, and then I'm gonna try to get to you, Reyes.
My bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good now?
All right, for sure. I ain't want too much. I just had 2 little looks I wanted to throw your way. I've been telling you the last couple of days I've been on AD heavy. So as you know, he playing the Pacers. Miles Turner can't play no defense. They got AD PRA at over 39.5. He hit that damn near 4 times in the last 5 games. So I'm gonna keep riding it until it's broke. So I'm taking that. I'm also gonna take DeMar DeRozan. His PRA is at 36.5. Minus 109, and I'm taking that too. They got to play against Utah. Utah not going to really be able to handle them with Floyd Marketing out, and so I put a unit on that. Hoping Marketing for sure probably not playing because I don't think they got nobody that can stick with DeRozan.
he gonna get buckets all night. That's all I got for the day, bro.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, too heavy. I hope you cashing, bro. Sound like 2 solid looks, man. AD should feast tonight. Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. Anytime for sure. Reyes, I think it's your first time up, man. How you doing? And you got a question or you got a look for the people?
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Hey, first of all, I appreciate your morning shows. I checked in a couple times on those, so I appreciate that. But I got a couple that I've been looking at. I did some write up on Vucevic points. I know it sounds crazy, but Vuce got a really good matchup today. Like you guys mentioned earlier, they're giving up a lot of points in the paint. I know he likes to shoot a lot of threes, but right now the offense is running through obviously DeMar, but he's going to be dishing the ball, I think, today. So I think that Vuce got a good spot today. Another one that I like is, I call him my Mr. Consistent, is Jared Vanderbilt boards. The Bulls give up a ton of boards to the power forward position, so I feel like he's going to feast on the glass today versus the Bulls. Last two I got is Marcus Smart points with Jaylen Brown being out. I like that play a lot. They're going to have to rely on him to score the basketball today. I got it at over 12 and a half at plus 100. And then the final one is Royce O'Neal assists. I like that KD and Kyrie both have, good matchups to score the basketball today. And he's been distributing the ball pretty well lately. So I got that one at plus 124. So I locked that one in as well.
Okay. Solid looks, bro. Solid looks, man. I appreciate you showing some appreciation to the morning show, and I appreciate you sharing the looks today, man. I think they solid, Riz. Hope you cashing, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Absolutely. Papa Cinco, I'm coming to you, and then Silverado, I'm coming to you. What's up, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's going on, my man? I appreciate you having me on, Chris.
Absolutely, bro. All the time, man. You always come with the sharp looks, man. What you got for us tonight?
Man, I'm finna drop I got 5. I'm on 4 plays right now. Man, I'm looking at Trey Murphy the third. I'm just waiting on Ingram, the official Ingram news to get ruled out. Trey Murphy the third, man, he just took 14 shots last game in 26 minutes. With Ingram playing, if Ingram don't play, he's probably looking at about 30 minutes. Probably looking at about 15 plus shot attempts. So I'm looking at him at 15 plus. My second play, man, I'm on Jamal Murray tonight, man. I'm just waiting for Bones and Michael Porter Jr. to get ruled out. I'm on him at 20 plus. I think it's at minus 120 right now. So I'm on that play as my second play. I'm on Bradley Beal threes at 2 plus. He's hit 2 or more 8 out of his last 10 games. We all just saw that Minnesota defense, as you said a little bit earlier. Man, it's bad, man. It's bad. They've been on the road a long time, and they're giving up a lot of threes. They're giving up a lot of assists. So I'm on Bradley Beal, and Bradley Beal just had a sour loss last night too. I think they try to get Minnesota in a bounce back spot tonight. And man, I'm gonna echo what the last guy said. I think his name was Reyes, man. Vooch, man. I'm on Vooch points at 16 and a half. I literally just watched the Phoenix game, the last Jazz game where Ayton got 29. Literally smashed them in the paint. So I'm on Vooch in a get right spot, 16 and a half. Man, and those my 4 plays for tonight.
I like him, Papi Cinco. I like him, bro. I like him a lot. I think I always forget about that, but the Jazz do, they are terrible. Like they much rather run you off the 3-point line and let you score in the paint. I've seen I think even Zubac had a really good game against them as well. So I couldn't talk anybody off the Vooch. I'm like, why is everybody talking about Vooch today? It makes sense now though. Yeah, and you're right. Like Ayton just went baby Zubac on him as well in that game too. So love the looks, Cinco. Hope you cash him, bro.
I appreciate you having me on, man.
Absolutely, bro. Anytime. Silverio, I want to come to you, man. What's going on? How you doing?
What's going on, Chris? Everything okay?
Yes, sir. How about yourself?
Good. Man, the last time I was here, I heard that if it was possible to hear your show out of the United States, right? I'm from Portugal, so I'm hearing from here.
Yeah, no. You can hear from anywhere, Silverio. I think the only thing that's not available is the chalkboard community that myself, Ronald Cobain, Ski Prophet, and Finesse the Books run. I don't think you can access the chalkboard if you don't have if you're outside of the United States. But yeah, as far as the spaces, I know people listening in Australia and a lot of different places in the world. So yeah, you definitely can listen in from anywhere.
Okay, so today I have only three bets for today. I'm going with Tyrese Haliburton. Points and assists over 29.5. He's coming from a bad shooting game, and against the Lakers, he has a good opportunity to bounce back. Then I will go with DeMar DeRozan over 27.5 points because Utah doesn't know how to defend in the paint. And I'm going with Sabonis assists. He's reaching this line. I think it's 5.5. And he reached 9 out of 10 on the last games. He only missed against Spurs, I think. So these will be my props for today.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, man. I hope you cash them, man. Appreciate you sharing them as well.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What's up, Vaughn?
Yo, what's good, bro? You hear me good?
Yeah, you good? What's going on with you?
Hey, man, so I got a couple plays, man. Nothing, I haven't played anything official. Just throwing that out there. I'm with you on these Sundays, bro. I think I might be a 6-day better from now on. Football killed me yesterday. NBA, I'm with you. I tried to go on a couple props instead of the sides. And, man, instead of Ja trying to score, he want to go try to get triple doubles.
Yep.
Minnesota defense optional. Crazy day yesterday in the NBA, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact, man.
Hey, man, so look, man, we ain't on a whole lot right now, so I am going to lock in DeRozan points. I've been cashing with DeRozan, so I've seen the amount of volume, more than anything else. And then also looking at Utah outside of a lot of the statistics that people have recently given out, their starting lineup, they're starting 2 smaller guards. So they're starting Sexton and Clarkson, who are 2 smaller guards. And then we know Markkanen is not really a 3, but they got him kind of playing the 3. He's more of a 4. So I like DeRozan right there, especially in those ISO opportunities he's going to get tonight. So I love DeRozan. Let's see. So I'm probably going to get on Shake Milton points if they ever release it. I seen his points. I wanted to get on his PRA. I don't see any rebounds or assist lines. I'm just waiting on Embiid to be ruled out, but also Clint Capella to be ruled out as well. And I say that because they've been giving up, I think, like 58 points per game in the paint. So I love Shake Milton kind of being the facilitator for the 76ers tonight. So I'm going to roll with his PRAs if it's ever released. I wanted to get on Tatum points, but no Rozier. I just don't think Tatum got to get there for them to win tonight. I wanted to get with Boston.
You going out, Vaughn? Say that last one, that last part of it again, Vaughn. You said you wanted to get with Boston.
Boston first half team total, it was at 57.5.
Okay.
Which was a tad bit low. So I think I'm gonna end up getting there. I got to go finish up a little more research on that. I'm gonna lock in Evan Mobley points and rebounds at 26.5. Last 2 games, no Jared Allen. He's scored 20 points in both. But he's had 7 rebounds and 13 rebounds. I'm waiting on Bickerstaff to release this starting lineup. If they start Robin Lopez, I ain't playing nothing. Yeah, for real, bro. I played that first half yesterday. Robin Lopez came out there working for the ops. So,
bro.
Man. So, yeah, man. And I'm on Jamal Murray points. That wasn't going to be official for me, man. I wanted to get with that Toronto and Cleveland over at 114, 115. 2 slow-paced teams, but that total just a little bit too low. Sometimes they can kind of over-adjust to the under. But with Siakam coming back, the superstars come back and fuck the offense up, so we off that. So, again, man, I'm running through my officials, man. We going with Jamal Murray points. We going with DeRozan points. We going with Evan Mobley points and rebounds if he's starting at center. Let's see. And I'm going with Sacramento first quarter spread at plus 0.5, man. We know what that team that's been at home. Phoenix last 5 games have been at home. We know those teams that come from home going on the road typically struggle. And then Sacramento look like they only going to be good. Well, they're going to be a lot better this year at home than on the road. Their scoring went down, defense went down. Everything goes down when they go on the road. I wanted to get behind that first half total, but it's a little bit too. It's at 115, and I don't like Phoenix pace. So we're going to make that first quarter spread official. So 4 officials for me, man. Got to bounce back. It took a bad hit Sunday, went down like 3 or 4 units. So we're going to bounce back tonight.
Absolutely, Vaughn. Best of luck to you, bro. I like these looks too, man. I wanted to get there with the Kings early, but I kind of stayed off, and I just expect them to win the game. I don't know how the game gonna go early, Vaughn. I tried to cap it. I was like, just I don't know the flow. You know what I mean? But I do, like I said, I think the Kings, teeter. They should be, due to come up and get a win. And I think, opposite for Phoenix. Phoenix been hot. It's time for them to cool down. Kings should get them tonight.
Hey, I agree. Hey, I got a question for you real quick. Hey, who you think for the Pacers tonight? Would you rather lean Ben Mathurin points with that shit he been talking about LeBron, or Buddy Hield kind of in a bounce back spot? Buddy Hield been shooting kind of bad these last 4 or 5 games.
Honestly, Vaughn, both. Like if I had to pick one, I'd probably take Mathurin over Buddy Hield, just because Buddy Hield also got a big game coming up. Like, the Lakers is a big game, but he got a big game coming up. They play the Kings, I think, on Wednesday, I think. So, it'll be a returning game for him. Mathurin got a lot. He got a lot to prove. Like like big lights. I think he's ready for the moment too. Like, I don't think he's seen a moment that's been too big for him so far this year. So, I would say I also just like the way Mathurin for me is a more complete scorer. Like he can actually get to the rim. He's more athletic than Buddy Hield. He can't shoot as good, but I mean, he is shooting like 45, 46% from 3. So he's not shooting bad either. So yeah, I take Mathurin, Vaughn, just because to me, he has a more, it's crazy to think, but even with just us seeing him this many games so far this season, he has a complete skill set. He can score at all 3 levels.
I agree. So I'm gonna end up doing the same game parlay. I'm gonna do Mathurin points, Halliburton assists at like 11, and Mathurin points, Halliburton assists, and like AD rebounds. Just like a little same game parlay 3-leg for that one. I'm gonna get home and cook something up. I'll tweet that one out.
Okay, bet. Okay. All right,
hey,
best.
Good looking, bro. I really appreciate everything you do for the community as a whole, bro.
Absolutely, Vaughn. Appreciate you showing the appreciation, my brother. Let me get to Trail Goated real quick. Let me see what he got, and then I'll go over my officials real quick, and then we'll get ready to shut this thing down, man. Unless anybody else got some requests. Trail, can you hear me? If so, bro, the floor is yours. Maybe not. Oh, okay. The request came back. Maybe you couldn't get connected. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good.
You got to play or something you like tonight?
I've been looking at the Rockets game.
Uh-huh.
And what should I go with, the under?
The under for the Rockets game?
Huh?
The under for the Rockets game?
Yeah, the total points.
Okay, what you get it at?
I did it under 228.5.
Okay.
I was asking, was that good? And then I got another one with the assist. Jalen Green for sure over 3.5.
Oh, I like the Jalen Green look. I do like the Jalen Green look. So real quick, the news just broke. Ingram is out. So if you want the Trey Murphy props, try to get him in now. They probably gonna adjust it just a tad bit. Probably won't be able to get to it, but if you can, go ahead and if you wanted to take that, I'm gonna get on it. I don't care what it said at, honestly. As long as it ain't nothing crazy like 18.5, I'm gonna be on his on Trey Murphy props. It's still 14.5, so I'm gonna lock that in real quick.
On Trey Murphy?
Yeah, Trey Murphy. I'm on this. I know Bookie said he was on his threes over 2.5. I'm on his points over 14.5. It's minus 118 right now. I just played that. But yeah, I like the look, man. I don't know how that game's gonna go as far as pace wise. Denver could, absolutely come out there and smack Houston. The game could go over, or Denver or Houston could play, a little bit of defense and that game go under. Denver is a little shorthanded as well. I don't think they got all the guys tonight, so I don't have a real strong look for you on that total, man. I wish I did, but I don't really got anything for you on that total. I wish you best of luck with whatever you play, though. What else you get? What did you got?
And for the Suns and the Kings, you say take the +1 and over the points.
Yeah, the over on the points is a lean. I didn't play that officially, but I did take the +1. I see it being a high scoring game. I like to get the total, before it gets juiced to the over. Phoenix can play defense. Sacramento has the ability to play defense as well. If you was going to take an under in this game, I think you take the first half under, and the second half points. You probably see points. So I'm sorry. I said it backwards. I think the first half probably goes under. Yeah, the first half goes under, then the second half goes over. But I'm not playing any of that. That's just a lean.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck to you, bro. I hope you cash whatever you play, man.
All right. Thank you, man.
Absolutely. Let me get Hustle up, and we're gonna get ready to shut this thing down. Let me get Denzel up real quick. We're gonna get ready to shut this thing down. If you watching, man, hit the like button for me. Retweet the show. Subscribe, all that good stuff. JR said, Chris, stars will be stars kind of night, or nah, not tonight. I think you guys are on the right track as far as like, if you wanted to take one, I think, throwing DeRozan in there would be good. I'm not a Vucevic fan, so, even in his matchup, I wouldn't look to take him. But DeRozan, I like DeRozan tonight. I like AD tonight. Zion, could go for 40 tonight. So, I'd be looking at Zion. Who else a star? Trae Young typically show up on the road even in the second night of a back-to-back. So maybe looking at Trae Young. I don't feel like doing a stars will be stars parlay though. I'm trying to hit cash on some straight bets. Denzel, can you hear me, bro? If so, the floor is yours, man.
Real quick. Yeah, real quick, man. I jumped on Valanciunas. I took his over in points. Took his double early at +165. I took over in points for Vucevic and over in points for Zach LaVine. I mean, they aggressive bigs and aggressive guards versus Utah. I like that. Strong lean towards the over and Zion Williamson points. I just think he's just going to be ultra aggressive today. I took the over 7.5 assists for campaign. I'm at work right now. I just think those are great spots. I like the game environment, the pace of play, and everything with that when it comes to that Sacramento game. Those are just a few plays that I got right there.
Absolutely, I appreciate you sharing those, Denzel. I love that campaign look too, bro. Best of luck to you tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
Hustle, I'm gonna kick it to you. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Same old soup, just reheating, man. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. What's going on? What you liking tonight?
Man, like I tweeted you yesterday, man. I think them weekends, man, we're gonna have to look at the unders, man, because yesterday was crazy. Saturday was crazy too. Like a bunch of unders just hit. Like, and just imagine if you had a parlay with even like 2-3 unders. You know what I mean? Like, could have hit something crazy. I mean, Luka didn't hit his points. It was so many people I was watching that didn't hit their points today. But I've really been paying attention to the unders. Like Philly right now, you got like 2-3 games straight where D'Anthony Melton hasn't hit his points. Like he had that one game where he went off, and then he's been nothing close like ever since. So, but something I have been playing, but it's not on today, is PJ Tucker's under. Like they've been having this under at his line at like 3.5 up to like 4 or 4.5, and I've been taking the under. He's been ending games with 0 points like every game, but it was up today. But now they don't have PJ Tucker up no more. Do you know if he's ruled out?
No, I didn't see anything about PJ. It hasn't come through yet, anyway.
Yeah, I didn't see either, but they took him off. FanDuel took him off. But I created a parlay of guys just to hit 20 points, and they got some pretty decent odds. You can get a nice little double up. So Trae Young for 20, Anthony Edwards for 20, Kevin Durant for 20, Anthony Davis for 20, and DeMar DeRozan for 20. That's plus 174. You know what I'm saying?
How many guys was that, Hustle?
That's 5. I had 6. I had Kyrie, and it get you up in the 2s plus 200 plus, but I took Kyrie off.
Okay.
But you know what? I am missing one. I had Donovan Mitchell. For 20 as well.
Okay.
You can pretty much cash that in the first half. So, yeah, with Donovan Mitchell. So adding Donovan Mitchell to that is plus 207. And these are guys that average close to 30. All they got to do is get 20 on the same night. And, you can have a nice little double up. Also, I'm liking Paolo today. He had 2 games where he was just shy of 20. I believe that he clears his 20 today, maybe even goes to 25 or 30. And I am taking that AD. I'm taking AD's PRAs at this spot. Like, you kind of have to. Like, that should be easy call as well. Like, there should be no sweat.
It's the changing of the guards out there, LA, man. Letting Bron take the back seat like it's supposed to have been like 2 years ago, Hustle. I'm with you on that, man.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and I get what you're saying as a Lakers fan. I used to do that too. As a Lakers and a Broncos fan, I used to try not to bet on my team. But who knows? Like, what team do I know better than the team that I watch? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. It ain't for that reason, Hustle. It's just because they so inconsistent, bro. I agree with you. The team that I watch the most, the team that I feel most comfortable on betting, but when it comes to the Lakers, bro, like, they just so inconsistent. Yeah, it's crazy. Also, real quick, Hustle, we got Clint Capella available to play, and we got DeAndre Hunter also available to play with the foot injury. So it looks like they're gonna have their starting 5 tonight.
Atlanta, I mean, shoot.
Yep.
Let me look. I gotta look up Clint Capella's double against Philly.
Right.
It's locked. He's not even up there yet, so they gonna, that might come up. But yeah, I gotta look at Clint Capella's double and see what that's looking like today. That might be worth a sprinkle. Or even Trae Young's doubles plus 145. And Kuzma's back. I forgot about Kuzma.
Yep, he is.
I've been saying this since last season. This is really Kuzma's team. Like, I know Bill's like the face guy. Porzingis is there. And Porzingis is a good anchor. But if they run that offense through Kuzma, like, Kuzma can get it done. Like, he can get you a double-double. He can get you 30. He can do a lot on this team. So, his points today is like, I think it's like 19. It's 19 and a half, yeah. Also, now I'm starting to come up with too many. I didn't even have this many at first. Anthony Edwards has been cashing for me. He's been cashing for me almost every game, at least 20 plus, 21, 23. It normally ends in that range, you know what I'm saying? So as long as his points is like 21, 22, I'm taking it. I got to take it up to like 25, And yeah, I think that's pretty much it, man.
Okay. Hey, I hope you cash him, Hustle. I hope you cash him, bro. Best of luck to you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hector, I'm gonna come to you, and I think we're gonna shut it down with you. I don't see any more requests. If you can hear me, Hector, the floor is yours, my brother.
Yo, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good?
Hey, what's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Oh, we also just got news. Joel Embiid is in. PJ Tucker is also available to play. Breaking news as we speak. But back to you, Hector. I'm good, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. So I've been cashing out, bro. I've been cashing in on these 3-point plays, bro. That's all I've been playing for the last 2 weeks. Finding values on 3-pointers. I think two games ago, I believe Spencer Dinwiddie, bro. He was at over 2.5. He was at plus 125, 135, and I nuked him, and he cashed it in the first 4 minutes. So it's been kind of going pretty good for me when it comes to 3-pointers. So I have a 3-point parlay. It's a little call it degenerate or not, but I think there's a big chance of it hitting. So I got Porzingis to have 3-pointers at plus 190. I like that. It actually just now went up as I'm looking at the slip. Plus 195. Seth Curry, man. Seth Curry's been balling. Last 2 games, he's been balling, man. And what I love to see is volume on the shots. Seth Curry, last one he had 7 out of the range, and then he had 4 on the previous. He's still at plus 185 right now to have 3-pointers. So I really like Seth Curry. And the one that scares me, but I think he can get it done, is Darius Garland. He sits at plus 110 to have 3 3-pointers. Whole slip is at plus 1,600. So that's the only play I got, man. Only parlay. Like I said, I've been hitting on these straight bets, so I'm kind of rewarding myself with a crazy parlay tonight.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, man. I hope you cash it.
I appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely, man. Real quick, I do want to mention this real quick because Patrick thought of something that I was actually thinking myself as well. The only reason I didn't mention this is because I just kind of feel like anybody can score on Brooklyn. The way that if you've been watching Brooklyn play, the way that they've been running their offense is not really through one person, man. KD, like if you look at the assist numbers, they're all kind of up. They're sharing the ball well. It's not just predicated on KD going out and getting his numbers. Royce O'Neal's been scoring. We all know that Ben Simmons has been more aggressive and kind of facilitating the offense. Royce O'Neal assists have been up. I don't know if people have been paying attention to that, but Patrick makes a good point in the YouTube comment section. He says Kyrie over 22.5 is his only play, laddering him up to 40. You see what Guard's been doing to Orlando. You see what he did to them last year. I think he did go for 50 against them last year. I can't remember exactly how many points it was, but couldn't talk anybody off Kyrie 22.5. Kyrie also hasn't had that coming out party, since he has been back. So, a lot of it is, probably just trying to get acclimated into the offense, conditioning wise, trying to get his legs underneath him because it's a big drop off when you go from not playing for 2 weeks to kind of being thrust back into the starting lineup. So, having played last night, they don't have anyone that can guard him at all. I kind of like Kyrie over 22.5. Not something I'm official on, but love the play. I think Patrick said he laddered him up to 40 at plus 725 on DraftKings. So if anybody looking for that look, I do think that Kyrie, even though Orlando gave up 130 points yesterday, and I think that they come back with something defensively today. Even if they do that, it doesn't mean that they're gonna be able to do it against Kyrie because Kyrie he's nice, man. The dude is nice. JR Sports said Nick Richards rebounds, Chris. It could be. I don't know if you got rebound numbers for Nick Richards. You definitely probably want to take him. No Al Horford. The Celtics not the worst rebounder team in the league, but Nick Richards is. I mean, we know about Nick Richards. We cashed on his double last game. His plus 5.5 rebounds was plus 116, I think, and that cashed all the way up to 13. So couldn't talk anybody off Nick Richards rebounds against a Boston team that doesn't care about this game. Throwaway game for them, back-to-back game for them. So yeah, I could see Nick Richards hitting his rebound line as well. Boogie, you the last one up, my brother. After I get to you, we getting up out of here. I'm gonna go over my officials one more time, and then we getting up out of here. Boogie, can you hear me, bro? If so, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm here. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, you good.
I just want to touch real quick on these unders I keep hearing people talk about, right? So I know y'all ready to get out of here. I'm going to make it quick. So my perspective on the unders, right? So as y'all know, online sports betting just got live in Maryland. So I'm just being able to get spoiled by FanDuel like y'all been getting spoiled for the past year and a half. But the book that I've been using before this FanDuel was called My Bookie. And one thing I learned a lot from the international books. One thing I learned was what plays are kind of like, how can I put it? Like, it's a little bit disadvantaged for Vegas because, like, for international books, you can't parlay unders, right? So that was a red flag. Like, I wonder why I can parlay over, but I can't parlay unders. The same with the PRAs. I don't think you can parlay the PRAs on FanDuel either. But, like, I couldn't mix no combos together on international. But I'm just starting to be able to play parlay unders. And when I say this shit is cash, like, my sister boyfriend, he never sports betted. Me and him did I referred him, he gave me the 100 free bet. I won him 1,600 his first night on the app. Last night we ran it back with the unders, man, and like 3 or 4 parlays cash. I still put in my straight bet, y'all. I'm still a straight better, but listen, them unders is so nice, and I use this website for everybody. It's called Edge House, but you take out the
the last E in edge. And what they do every day is they put up these prop charts where they can do like the last 5 weeks or the last 3 weeks. They'll tell you the over/under percentage. They'll tell you the opponent's points versus the position, and they go through every prop you can name. So usually my what I do is I go towards the end of the list. I find out which player, so let's say for points, right? For instance, hold on real quick. All right, for instance, we got, I think it's Deontay Myers. All right, no, we can just use Dion Wade or whatever his name is to play for Cleveland. So his point line right now was at 7.5. In the last 9 games, he only hit that at 11% rate, right? And then the team they're going against, Toronto, they 6 at his position and guard in that position. You get what I'm saying? So like that's somebody I would probably look to. 7 points too low for me to play, but that's just an example. But them unders been smashing, man. Look, if y'all ever see a play that y'all look at and y'all like, I don't think the over going hit, play the under.
Hey, Boogie, with all that being said, you got one that you done put in for the day or not? Or nah?
Yeah, I'll give y'all a couple. I got a couple. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna give y'all my favorite. All right, I'm gonna get something short. I like Dennis Schroeder under 11.5, LeBron James under 26.5, and Lonnie Walker under 16.5. That's a short one. That's plus 683. Another one that I played that I really like. This is a 3-point one. I got Devin Booker under 2.5, De'Aaron Fox under 1.5, Herder under 2.5, Barnes under 1.5. Keegan Murray under 1.5, Torrey Craig under 1.5, Cameron Payne under 1.5, Malik Monk under 1.5. That's at plus 13,199, and I'll give y'all one more for fun. No, my straight bet for the day is Phoenix Suns money line. Last time they played the Kings, they didn't start nobody. They rested their whole starters. The Kings had most of their starters in, and they only won by 2 points. So now the starters come back. You should see Suns smash them today. And one more under for y'all is hold on. All right, so we got Shea Gilgeous and the Xander under, I think his line is 30.5 points. I got Giddey under 15.5. Giddey is a real good one if y'all want to play that straight. I like Giddey Shea under 6 assists. I had Terry Rozier under 6.5, but they say that's void. I guess he out tonight. PJ Washington under 16.5 points. Aaron Gordon under 16.5 points. Aaron Gordon under 7.5 rebounds, and Kevin Porter Jr. under 6.5 assists, and that's at 10,544. Good luck tonight, guys.
Hey, best of luck, bro. You got hella unders parlay. Hey, bro.
You don't got to put a whole unit. You can put like little small pieces on it.
And
then if you hit a couple, like that really gets your bankroll right. And like I said, I had to be very strategic on building up my bankroll when it came to the international service. They wasn't giving out no booze. Like we even had Maryland booths where they was just giving us free money. Like y'all are really spoiled on FanDuel. Like if they would give me this free money that they're giving me on FanDuel, or I don't know where I would be at right now. Like this is crazy.
Oh man.
Good night, John.
All right, man. Have a good night, Boogie. Appreciate you, bro. I hope you cash all them joints too, man. You got some hella unders in there, man. Man, I hope you cash all them joints. All right. So real quick, before we get out of here, man, take a second if you guys haven't, man. Hit the like button for me, especially if you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Twitter. Retweet the show so we can get more people in here. But we're gonna wrap it up, man. I've been on here for an hour and a half. Show supposed to be an hour, so we went over a couple minutes, but it's all good. Officially for me, I am on Trey Murphy over the 14.5 points. I put that in. That one's kind of self-explanatory. No Brandon Ingram, no CJ McCollum. Pivot off of Zion. Raptors money line, I played that one earlier. Is not available now. Don't like them at the -4 as much, but I do, like I said, I do think that they win the game. Kings plus the 1. Made the video for that one. All analysis is posted in the video. Well, most of it is posted in the video. And then Brooklyn, Orlando over the 223. I think it's up to 224 now. I see points in this game. I think Brooklyn probably, takes light of Orlando, and Orlando come back and scores, more than 100 points. They only scored 99 yesterday. So like those 4 plays, man, couldn't talk anybody off. I know a lot of people are on DeRozan. Really like DeRozan a lot tonight. AD points and rebounds. Love that look tonight with with what Zubac was able to do last night. Also, I'm gonna still be looking at Boston team totals. First quarter, first half. I think Vaughn talked about that 57.5. I think they could still score 60 points tonight, even on the second night of a back-to-back. And looking at Ben Mathurin, over 16.5 after the trash talk he talked to Braun. Like that look a lot, but not official on that. And Shea, I talked about Shea as well. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, rebounds plus assists over 10.5. That number dropped just a tad bit in a game that I see being pretty fast paced, and not as much more interior size for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander tonight. With Valanciunas being down there and some of those big bodies. So I could see him having to distribute just a tad bit more, and not being able to get to the rim and finish as much as he does on a nightly basis against some of these teams that lacks the rim protection. So that's what I'm officially on. Just the Trey Murphy, the Raptors money line, the Kings +1, and the Brooklyn Orlando over the 223. 4 plays for me. Best of luck to you guys. If I play anything else or I see anything live, I'll tweet it out as always. Back in the morning, 7 a.m. For the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. Best of luck to you guys on all your bets. Always in the show the same way, man. None of this is financial consultation. It's theory, it's logic, it's analytics, it's eye test, it's all that good stuff, man. Best of luck to you guys. Bet with your head, not over it. Until I see you guys tomorrow, I'm out.